Fred, it's fantastic to be here with you at your New York City facility. What I want to go back is to start off by stepping back in time to your history in exercise. How did you find out about a high-intensity approach to exercise in the first place?
Well, it was, and thanks for the interview. I just want to say thanks very much. It was a long time ago. So what I was doing was early on, this is like in the early 80s, right after high school, I actually wanted to be an actor. So, and what I did was hate waiting tables. So I didn't want, that's not the way I wanted to make a living. But I really liked exercise, I liked lifting weights, and back then, Nautilus had a certification program, and a new gym called New York Sports Club had a bunch of Nautilus machines, and the guy who was managing it was looking for trainers. So I went in, I knew I'd read some books on Nautilus, read Ellington Darden and Arthur Jones and stuff, and I really liked it, and I got hired as a gym floor manager, personal trainer, although there really wasn't a lot of personal training then. It was just, you were sort of like a proctor, and you would put people through the workouts, and so I started to do that, and really enjoyed making a living, training people, getting people stronger, and things, things of that nature.
And that was in New York City.
That was in New York City.
And
yes.
then, how did it go from that to your first place here?
It's a long story, but to make it short, I then got hired. So I got certified by the American Council on Exercise as a personal trainer, and then I got hired by the Hospital for Joint Diseases Sports Medicine Center. It was their new orthopedic sports med center. And at the time I was dating one of the physical therapists there, and she said, we really need somebody to come in here and help us with the strengthening exercises. So I said, I'd love to try that. And they hired me so what I did was, you'd go skiing, you'd break your knee, the doctor would fix your knee, you'd go to the physical therapist, and the physical therapist would do their physical therapy things, and then hand them to me and say, okay, Fred, make his quad stronger. Fred, make his lower back stronger. Fred, do this, do that. So I was put in charge of all of the strengthening programs. I had to do the physical therapist set, of course, but I was given some latitude, like to develop strengthening programs. So I took my job very seriously and started reading everything I could about strengthening. And so I knew that if you came to me and you only had 8 weeks of physical therapy, that's all that the insurance company was going to pay for.
Right.
So it was my job then to make you as strong and as functional as possible in that short time. So that's sort of how I started using high-intensity training, how I started using slow repetition, because it was safer. I mean, it made sense to me at the time. And what I noticed was it was making these patients so strong, so fast. I started using it with all my clients, and I was training people then. I was one of the very first trainers at the very first Equinox gym that ever opened, just down here, just on 76th Street. And it was working so well that I just started using it exclusively, because I had been doing, conventional stuff. So from there, I opened up with the head of orthopedic surgery at that hospital. One day, do you mind if I tell this quick story?
No, please do.
Okay,
yeah.
So one day I'm sitting there strengthening somebody on like a leg curl machine.
Yeah.
And I look, there's a big glass window. And I look out the window, and there's the head of orthopedic surgery staring at me. And I'm training like a client, and I'm looking, and I look up at him, and he just points to me, and he points to me, and he goes, come here. And I'm like, okay. And I go, and he goes, come in my office. And I thought I was getting fired. It was just the energy was, like that. So he sits me down and he goes, what are you doing with my patients? And I said, strengthening them, doing my job. And he goes, I've never seen people get so strong so fast. I've never seen my patients get so strong so fast. What are you doing? So I told him, and he goes, I want you to train me. So then he hired me to train him at his apartment building. So I was doing that, and he was really impressed by the results, and he didn't say much. But then, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 months go by, and I'm training people in the center again. And he's standing outside the glass door again, the window again. And he looks at me, and he goes, and we sat down, and long story short, we discussed opening up a private training facility where we would train people in this method exclusively. And my idea was to do it like you go skiing, you hurt your knee, but when you come to me for PT, I strengthen your whole body. I strengthen your neck flexors, your neck extensions, your lumbar extensions, and of course your knee. So at the end of the 8 weeks, not only is your thigh stronger, but your entire body is stronger. Everything about you is better. And then if we were able to submit that to insurance companies and say, hey, you should send people to us, because in a fraction of the time, we can make this patient not only make this patient's leg stronger, but their whole body. And so we were working on that. And then I did that for about 3, almost 4 years. And then the problem with that was, to be honest, physical therapists. It was very difficult to get them to abandon their preconceived notions about strengthening. And so it was becoming so frustrating to me. I said, you know, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go on my own. And I opened up this facility in June of 1998, which is this month is 20 years here.
20 years, which is great timing that we're here for your 20th anniversary.
Yeah,
effectively,
it's serendipitous.